Welcome to today's Explainer. Get ready, because today we're taking a look at how a small, kind of scrappy graphics startup became the absolute, undisputed engine of the modern AI revolution. Seriously, if you've ever wondered how the exact technology that's shaping our entire future actually got off the ground, well, you are definitely in the right place.
So think about this for a second. What did ChatGPT, autonomous vehicles, cutting-edge medical research, and modern high-end gaming all have in common? I mean, on the surface, they seem like completely different industries, right? Operating in totally different worlds. But there's actually this massive, invisible thread connecting all of today's most advanced tech.
They all depend on a single company. NVIDIA. It's a name you're probably seeing in the news constantly right now, but their journey is honestly one of the greatest technological underdog stories of our time. And the most fascinating part? They were never actually created for artificial intelligence. Not even close.
Okay, let's dive into this. NVIDIA's journey began with a completely different dream. Back in 1993, the vision was simply building chips for a pretty niche early graphics and gaming industry. I mean, nobody was thinking about large language models back then. Fast forward to today, and the modern reality is that this exact same company is powering global AI workloads, running the world's fastest supercomputers, and driving cutting-edge robotics. The leap from building hardware for 90s video games to literally powering the foundation of the AI era is staggering. So, how do you actually get from point A to point B?
Let's look at Section 1, a different kind of dream, the 1993 beginnings. Back in 1993, founders Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem set up shop in a tiny, totally unassuming office with a bold, highly specific vision to revolutionize computer graphics. At the time, PC graphics were pretty primitive, and they saw a future where visuals would absolutely demand dedicated hardware. But, visionary ideas don't automatically pay the bills. By the mid-1990s, the company was literally fighting for survival. They faced brutal initial struggles, immense funding challenges, and really intense financial pressure in a highly competitive, super uncertain market. There were dozens of graphics companies vying for dominance, and NVIDIA was perilously close to bankruptcy more than once. But by the late 1990s, they managed to launch successful graphics processors that finally gave them a true foothold in the market. It gave them a fighting chance at the future.
Moving on to Section 2, Gaming and the Breakthrough, Surviving the Early Years.
To survive all that intense financial pressure we just talked about, NVIDIA leaned hard into the gaming industry, and they innovated the GPU, or Graphics Processing Unit. Gamers needed faster, more realistic visuals, and the traditional CPU architecture just wasn't built for that workload. While traditional CPUs handled complex tasks sequentially, one by one, the GPU was a different beast entirely. It was a massive architectural paradigm shift built for parallel processing. It handled thousands of tiny graphical tasks simultaneously to render complex 3D environments in real time. So, the crucial point is, gaming became NVIDIA's first massive commercial breakthrough, and without anyone realizing it quite yet, the fundamental underlying architecture of this specialized gaming chip was the exact mechanism that would eventually change the entire world.
That brings us to Section 3, the CUDA ecosystem gamble, building a technology leader. Now, this was a massive, historically significant risk for the company. They already had Step 1 down, right? Dominating gaming GPUs. But Step 2 changed absolutely everything. They decided to build the CUDA platform. This was a dedicated software layer that basically allowed developers to use the immense parallel processing power of gaming GPUs for general-purpose, non-gaming tasks. They were effectively telling scientists and researchers, hey, you can use our video game hardware to do incredibly complex math. This was a huge financial risk at the time. Developing CUDA cost NVIDIA heavily in R&D and profit margins, and initially, Wall Street absolutely hated it. They just didn't see the value in catering to a niche academic market. But Step 3, using that exact platform to expand into deep learning and scientific computing, paid off brilliantly. NVIDIA deliberately built relationships with developers and expanded an entire ecosystem long before AI was a mainstream buzzword. It was an ecosystem built on pure technological foresight.
Here is Section 4, Powering the AI Era, the AI Revolution.
When the world finally woke up to artificial intelligence, scientists realized something incredibly serendipitous. The parallel processing power of GPUs was absolutely perfect for heavy AI and machine learning workloads. Think about it. Training large neural networks requires millions of simultaneous calculations. Traditional CPUs just couldn't keep up with that level of scale.
But NVIDIA's hardware was already architected to do exactly that. Because of the foundation laid by CUDA, NVIDIA was ready. Today, there's a massive, insatiable global demand for their technology across completely different cutting-edge sectors, and this brilliantly illustrates just how wide their reach is now. We're talking about massive data centers, machine learning research, robotics, autonomous driving, and advanced healthcare and drug discovery. Generative AI fundamentally relies on this hardware ecosystem that NVIDIA had been quietly and deliberately building for decades.
Which leads us to Section 5, the AI Foundation today, shaping the future. Today, NVIDIA's influence is literally everywhere. From running massive cloud computing networks to powering supercomputers that enable groundbreaking scientific discoveries, they really are the bedrock of modern tech.
But what can we actually learn from this incredible journey? Let's check out our final section, 4 Lessons for Success, the Business Blueprint.
These 4 business lessons are highly practical blueprints, and they're derived directly from NVIDIA's historical strategy. Lesson 1, build for the future, not just today's market. They didn't just stay comfortably in the gaming sector, they looked at what computing could be, and they built hardware for problems that hadn't even been fully realized yet. Lesson 2, continuous innovation creates long-term success. They never stopped iterating the GPU, pushing the boundaries of parallel processing year after year. Lesson 3, great technology becomes an ecosystem. By creating the CUDA platform, they didn't just sell a physical product, they gave developers a whole universe to play in, practically locking in their dominance. And finally, Lesson 4, patience and long-term thinking outperform short-term trends. They absorbed a massive financial hit and invested heavily in deep learning research years before the market caught up. This right here is a true masterclass in strategic patience.
Which brings us to this incredibly powerful thought. Every company has an origin, every decision has a consequence, and every story has a lesson. NVIDIA didn't simply build computer chips to make video games look prettier. Through intense vision, immense risk, and continuous innovation, they built the very technological foundation from modern artificial intelligence. They are the engine of a global revolution.
So, I want to leave you with this final provocative question. As artificial intelligence continues to evolve at absolute lightning speed, what future industry will NVIDIA's ecosystem silently revolutionize next? Will it be space exploration? Personalized genetic medicine? We've seen how their past built our present. The only question now is where their technology is going to take our future. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep on learning, and I'll catch you next time.